grip the night, burning bright, yeah, no stop. Wheels scream and spit that fire, dirt and gravel, they pop. Oil slick under the street lights, the shadows start to dance. Adrenaline like thunder, man, give me that last chance. Wednesday night, street fights, racing for the win. Broken steel and busted dreams, we wear it on our skin. Smell the fumes, taste the danger, hold tight to the wheel. This ain't no love song, baby, this is raw real. Crowds gather up like wolves, howling for that speed. Races blood pumping fast, gasoline is all they need. Tracks alive like a monster, the dirt flies and bends. Ruthless turns, heart turns savage till the night ends. Wednesday night, street fights, racing for the win. Broken steel and busted dreams, we wear it on our skin. Smell the fumes, taste the danger, hold tight to the wheel. This ain't no love song, baby, this is raw real. Underneath the moonlight, crowds roar so loud. Pride's in the throttle, nodding faces of a crowd. A brotherhood of metal, sweat, gears that grind. Cross that line or get left behind. Cold air cuts the dawn, still our fires rage. Holding bruises like trophies, exhaling battle cage. The stands are empty now, but the ghosts they remain. This dirt track story sings forever in our veins. Wednesday night, street fights, racing for the win. Broken steel and busted dreams, we wear it on our skin. Smell the fumes, taste the danger, hold tight to the wheel. This ain't no love song, baby, this is raw real. This is raw real.
Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome in as we get ready to rumble here this evening from the beautiful Eldora Speedway, as it is the Dirt Warrior Racing League's Wednesday night street fights getting ready to go to battle here once again from the always amazing, always fast and action-packed Eldora Speedway for what is going to be an absolutely amazing night of racing action. Welcome, and I welcome each and every one of you in. Hopefully you guys are already showing the love here in this one, man. Justin Johnson coming in right out of the gates here with 145-star dono coming in, setting it off here in this one. I appreciate that, Justin. Coming in, showing the love. Huge shout out there to my boy, Justin Johnson. Let's get some hashtags for Justin up in the chat. Let's get a hashtag Justin, a hashtag JJ, a hashtag love up in the chat here. Is my boy Justin Johnson coming in, setting it off early in this one. Not only coming in with the 145 stars, but also coming in with that like on the stream. Jeremy Vaughn Racing coming in with that thumbs up, as well as Thomas Dennis dropping that thumbs up here in this one, as well as he says, yo, Aaron, what's good, Thomas? How are you, Mr. Dennis? Hopefully you're having yourself a wonderful night. As Justin says, I'll be pulling for you to get 17th. That's in reply to Tim Taylor, who says, let's go, boys. I'm gunning for 18th tonight. Tim, hopefully we get hopefully get a little bit better than 18th, brother. Hopefully get up there, get yourself a solid finish and a good day here at Eldora as we'll be watching that beautiful Memphis Grizzlies TNT Racing ride, try to get a solid finish here this evening. Johnny, Mr. Ratley coming in. How are you, Johnny? Johnny coming in, dropping that thumbs up here on the broadcast as well. Once again, I do apologize. Normally we got the webcam on. Oh, no webcam right now. My webcam the other day decided that it wanted to stop working. I just haven't really had time to go through and try to find one that I like from Best Buy or potentially through Amazon or anything. So I haven't bought a new one yet, but that is on the docket to get a new webcam so that way we get the webcam back up for everybody to enjoy. As I know you guys love watching my beautiful face on the screen and my reactions to you guys' comments and to the action that's out there on the racetrack. It's always part of the fun here in the broadcasting world. Having that webcam on, make it a little bit more of a streamer vibe, a little bit more like a good time here. We don't want to be just plain Jane boring like some of the other broadcasts, man. We want to put a face to the name here as well, and hopefully you guys enjoy the webcam. And if you guys want to help us get a new webcam, you can be just like our boy Justin Johnson. Every single donation, everything else goes back into the stream, so that would be used to potentially get a better camera besides a webcam, or even maybe even multiple cameras and everything else to be able to help us out and continue to keep on creating wicked content. It's Dave Morgan. How are you, Dave? Dave coming in with that heart reaction as well. I appreciate that, Dave, showing the love here this evening as we'll get these drivers ready to rock and roll as they're jumping out onto the racetrack right now for a quick warm-up session. They're going to get some laps in. They're going to make sure their cars are absolutely perfect here this evening. As you do see Jeremy Sexton out there. Jeremy in that beautiful 2020 ride looking for a solid run here this evening. Philip Sexton in his 20 machine out there onto the racetrack as well in that beautiful Tommy Gunn. Actually, it's the Cocky Floyd Consulting Doghouse Racing number 20 ride here this evening. As you do see Jeremy Vaughn, good to see, always having Jeremy Vaughn out there, that TNL, the Team No Love Grip Hackney Live number 8 machine, looking to have himself another solid day. Jacob Stefanski, the Sunrise Racing WB Creative Designs number 23 slides out there for Jacob Stefanski, and right behind him, almost identical looking paint schemes, that is the 32 ride, or actually no, that's the 2020 ride. That's not Philip Sexton. That's not Jeremy Sexton. Who is that? Jacob Stefanski? No, Stefanski's in the 23. Who's in the 32? That's got the identical paint scheme here. We got to try to find that car now. Who in the world is that? Is that... Not too sure who that is. We'll have to wait and see through the lineup here. So you do see Jordan Gage. He's out there on the racetrack going around right there at the flag stand. Now a little bit of a pile up, and look out, couple drivers going airborne right there. Hopefully these drivers kind of get that out of their way right now and not using it up too much here this evening, as we do see Derek Rice out there on the speedway. Here comes Derek, nice and easy down through corner number 1 and 2 in that Busch Latte 357 ride. Logan Bright out there in the 82 machine, looking to have a solid day here himself, as a lot of drivers, a lot of fast cats. Good to see Cal Turbeville in here as well. Cal out there on the racetrack. Normally we see Cal in our, not in our dirt track racing action, but normally in our pavement action when it comes to our Tuesday night truck series. So good to see Cal out there on the speedway dipping his toes into a little dirt street stock racing here this evening. Gavin Eddy out there in the 34 ride. I'm not sure what's going on with this paint scheme here, as we'll try to get a better look at it as the Naked Clown. I'm not too sure what that is, but nonetheless, the 34 Gavin Eddy strolls out there on the speedway. Same with the 911 of Caleb Branham, hopefully I'm saying that right. Branham in the 911 ride. There's Pankow and his Bulletproof Motorsports Dirt Track Junkies number 91 ride. That car always looking fresh out there on the speedway. That's the 7, a Seth Castle right there in front of him. Seth looking to have himself another good run here this evening. The 98 ride, good to see Wade Burris himself out there. The WB Creative Designs 98 machine strolling out there onto the speedway. Good to see him out there on the racetrack having some more fun here this evening in these dirt street stocks. There he is, ladies and gentlemen. That is Tim the Toolman Taylor out there on the racetrack. The Memphis Grizzlies TNT Racing number 99 ride. Tim Taylor, ladies and gentlemen, in attendance here this evening. Good to see Timmy out there on the Speedway. Tyler Ryan in the 47 ride, looking to have himself a good day at the office as our warm-up session going to come to a close. So warm-up coming to an end, and that means we'll get ready to rumble here with our A-Main feature event. Our A-Main about to get underway. 65 laps of racing action here this evening. Is Steven Strokes coming in? How are you, Steven? Steven coming in, dropping that heart reaction here on the broadcast. Dave Morgan says, let's go Sexton, and Brian Wells cheering on Wells and the Sextons here this evening as we'll get ready to set these guys loose. We'll get ready to rumble here today from the beautiful Eldora Speedway. As out in front, who will lead us to the green flag, it is the 05 ride. It is Jordan Gage in the Get a Bumper Motorsports Cocky Floyd Consulting KR1 machine. Gage will start in that pole position. To his outside in the 82, that is Logan Bright. Starting in position number 3 in the 7 ride, that is Seth Castle, and to his outside in the Sunrise Racing WB Creative Designs White Knuckle Setup Shop number 23, that is Jacob Stefanski. Starting in position number 5 in the 2020 machine, that is Jeremy Sexton. To his outside in the 131, that is Anthony Thompson. Good to see Anthony back out there in his Cocky Floyd Consulting Dirty South Speed Shop number 131 here today. Tyson Pankow will start there on the inside of row number 4 with Jim Rivas in the iRacing I flag. Dirt Panda DWRJRE, the Grumpy Graphics number 57 ride, will start there in position number 8. Then we see Brian Wells on the inside of row number 5 as the 86 will start in the 9th position. To his outside in the 2, it's another Sunrise Racing machine. That is Cameron Stefanski. And then we see the 58 ride is Tyler Reed, Cody Ernest in the TNT Racing 88 ride there in 12th. Jackie Whaley, Gavin Eddy, the 47 of Marcos Pace, Caleb Branham, Philip Sexton, Chris Hill, Jason Ganells there in 18th. And we see Wade Burris, Ryan Howard, Stephen Baru, Tyler Ryan, Chad Puderbo, Evan Stefanski, Dylan Simmons, Tim Taylor, Derek Rice, Jeremy Vaughn, and Jeremy Aikens back there at the rear of the field here. Same with Jordan Gage, as Gage had to take an EOL to start here this evening as we'll get ready to rumble. We'll get ready to go green flag racing the next time by the start-finish line. So moving that inside lane up 1 row here, as unfortunately for Jordan Gage, after picking up a checkered flag last week, he's all of a sudden out here at the back of the pack, and he'll have to try to navigate his way back up and through the field. That's going to be a tough go for him here. We'll have to wait and see how that kind of gets set up and see if he can try to navigate his way forward here. He's already gained a few spots. He's in the inside lane, and here he is already up a couple spots here and starting a little closer to the front of the field as we end all the anticipation with our feature presentation. And look out, they're already 3-4 wide down and out of corner number 2. Look out as these drivers go elbows up racing. 3, 4, 5 wide at times around Eldora Speedway for our opening lap as Seth Castle out in front leads the way. Jeremy Sexton trying to hold on to position number 2 as Tyson Pankow down low. Pancake trying to make some moves here. The Bulletproof Motorsports Dirt Track Junkies ride trying to work his way up inside the top 3. Looking to clear that 82 of Logan Bright, but Bright will stay right there to his outside as here comes the 131. Anthony Thompson right there as well. Anthony looking to try to find his way up here into the battle at the front of the field, now inside the top 5 and feeling good early on. Same with Brian Wells, who's up 3 positions. Stefanski followed back a couple spots here, now finds himself there in 7th with Marcos Pace, Jackie Whaley, Tyler Reed all moving forward as we'll see this throughout the evening. Some drivers probably going to elect to take it a little bit easy. Some drivers may want to try to save their equipment, maybe try to save their tires, take it easy here in the opening laps, maybe try to avoid some of the carnage and mayhem that may unfold here throughout the first half of this race, and then try to gain it all back, try to race their way towards the front of the field here later in this feature event when the track starts to get a lot more slick and drivers are starting to struggle with worn out tires. If they got something saved up, if they got a little extra tire left over, they may be very, very fast late in this race, and they may have a lot of room to try to use it as a little contact. Right there is the 82 ride down low. Logan Bright trying to jump up and make the move around the 2020 ride here of Jeremy Sexton, but they're 3 wide back here for position number 2 is the 91 ride of Tyson Pankow. Pankow was using that inside lane. Now he jumps up to the top shelf. He's looking to use it to slide up and into position number 2, maybe even just stay there in third for now if he can clear this 82 ride of Logan Bright. As here comes that 131 Anthony Thompson poking his nose right into this battle as well, as drivers are going to continue to search around the racetrack here all evening long. Right now it seems like the high side starting to become that preferred line. We still got a few drivers working that middle, the bottom groove, and as this race continues to, continues to pound off these laps, man, these drivers are going to really start to see this racetrack change. It's going to start to slick over in a quick hurry. We got dang near 30 drivers out there on the racetrack duking it out here this evening. As you look back, you see the 357 ride of Derek Rice and Aikens there at the back of the pack here as Jeremy Vaughn sits there in position number 27. Caleb Branham already down a bunch of spots here. Same with Cody Ernest in the number 88 machine. You see Tim the two-man Taylor there, the 45 of Stephen Baru. All these drivers on the outside of the top 10 or top 20 looking in right now, and it's a dogfight even back here, man. There are some great battles all around the speedway. Everyone trying to navigate their way a little farther forward, as you do see Tyson Pankow finally able to clear Logan Bright and jump in to position number 3 here on the speedway. But Bright not going to sit there for long. He's going to look to go back after that 91 ride, see if he can move himself a little closer to the front of the field, and as he makes that move, he can't make it stick off corner number 4, and unfortunately that may open up the door here for Pace or Anthony Thompson to try to jump up and take that 4th position away from him. Brian Wells just on the outside of the top 5 looking in here in that beautiful 86 machine, as you see them still 2, 3, 4 wide back there behind him, as Jacob Stefanski trying to hold on to the 8th position. He's got Tyler Reed, Cameron Stefanski, Philip Sexton all over his back bumper, as you see Jackie Whaley in there. Jordan Gage, the Get a Bumper Motorsports, Cocky Floyd Consulting, 05 of Jordan Gage has now worked his way up and into the 13th position after starting what was supposed to be a pole position here this evening. He was quickest in qualifying, had to take an EOL for picking up last week's checkered flag, and now for that number 05 ride going to the back of the pack here to start this feature event. He started probably around the 26th position. He's up about 13 spots or so on the racetrack here since the drop of the green flag, and really moving forward. As I'm surprised, man. A testament to how good and how talented these drivers are. Racing so tight together, so close in lap times, and so tight out there. 2, 3, 4, 5 wide at times here in the opening 15 laps of this race, and we have been caution free throughout this evening. Just a testament at the skill level that's out here on the racetrack, man. These guys are absolutely insane. So fast, so good, so talented, as our first 14 drivers are all over 4,000 I rating. 4,000 I rating and above for our first 14 drivers out there on the racetrack. As we look through that field, you look at a lot of drivers that are in that 5 to 7K range as well in that mix. Even you look at Jeremy Sexton, who sits just over an 8,000 I rating. Absolutely insanely talented drivers here throughout the field, up and down the pack. You can look through here and see some absolutely amazing professional drivers out there on the racetrack. Continue to duke it out in battle here this evening, and it'll be interesting to see how this track really takes shape, where things kind of start to move around. As of right now, it seems like it's really holding here early on in this race, even with 30 drivers out there on the racetrack. Hasn't started to get too slick. We don't see drivers having to move around too much, and they're still kind of committed to that outside lane. But the more and more that they continue to pound down that cushion and continue to get closer and closer to that outside wall, the tighter and tighter it's going to be for running up there against that fence. And there is a no wall riding thing kind of in place here, no wall riding rule. So for a lot of these drivers, you got to be very, very cautious of the wall riding. As our first caution flag of the day will fly. The first yellow flag here this evening will be displayed. And oh man, it was a driver inside our top 10. It looks like the 131, the Cocky Floyd Consulting machine of Anthony Thompson. Gonna get tied up here in this one as he rolls up to the high side. Just looks like he kind of comes up. The 86 gets a good run to the outside groove, but unfortunately I don't think Anthony realized that, and as he kind of moves up, hoping to kind of slide in front of the 86 of Brian Wells just with a good run, not expecting hopefully to get that lane, as he had just poked the nose in there, but really not a whole lot of room here. And unfortunately, that speed and the momentum he had could not get checked up quick enough. Gets into that right rear quarter panel of the 131. That sends Thompson up and into the outside fence. A tough break there for him. And then obviously bouncing off that fence, losing all this speed. Then here comes, oh man, tough break right there as Evan Stefanski slides into him. Here comes the 0 ride, the 22. All these drivers just going to get tied up in that one. Cameron Stefanski getting damaged, as well as Chris Hill. As this is Cameron in the 2 ride. Cameron sends it in there. Probably not expecting the 131 ride to be losing so much speed and momentum. The 0 ride of Ganells gets in there. Evan Stefanski, Chris Hill. You do see the 357 and the 8 of Jeremy Vaughn getting a little contact there, as well as our first caution flag of the day. Unfortunately, we'll take Anthony Thompson down pit side, and hopefully we'll see if we can get him back out there on the racetrack. But as of right now, looks like that car is down pit side and may not rejoin this field here this evening. It's Craig Michael Deacon. What's good, Craig? Craig coming in, showing the love. How are you, brother? It's Colby Ely. How are you, Colby? Colby coming in, showing the love. How are you, mister? How you doing this evening? Jeff McJeffrey. What's good, Jeff? Evan Stefanski coming with that heart reaction, as well as, here we go, back to green flag racing here this evening as the green flag back out into the air. The 7 of Seth Castle looking to try to hold on to this race lead, trying to keep all these drivers back there at bay here this evening. He's trying to keep these drivers out of his front windshield here, wants to keep them all back in that rear view mirror, but throughout this race it's going to get tougher and tougher and tougher to do. They are going to be hounding his back bumper. They're going to be looking for new ways to try to get around this number 7 ride, but so far for the first 21 laps of this race, he has been that reflection of perfection. He did not qualify in the pole position, but with Jordan Gage getting the EOL, he started in that pole position, and for the 7 ride, able to take that first initial start and take that race lead, and has not looked back ever since. But man, he's got to be feeling that pressure with all these drivers right there working to his back bumper, as you see Logan Bright trying to take a look down low underneath the 2020 of Jeremy Sexton. Couldn't quite find the speed he was looking for, as there's that 23 machine. As so it looks like the 23 and the 2020 ride, Jeremy Sexton and Jacob Stefanski, their paint schemes are totally different, but man, they look a lot alike from that hood, man. Those hoods look a whole lot alike, man. That is a crazy comparison. We saw that earlier. I wasn't sure if someone was using the 32 Sunrise Racing ride that we've seen Stefanski have before, and it looks like it wasn't that. It was the 2020 of Jeremy Sexton. A very, very close in comparison from a far distance away. Paint schemes out there on the speedway, but man, they are two very good-looking race cars. As you do see Pankow, unfortunately, Pankow now sliding back into that 5th position, as he's got Marcos Pinks and Jackie Whaley right there with them. The 05 of Jordan Gage has worked his way back inside the top 5, so the Dirty South Speed Shop, Gage Farms, Get a Bumper Motorsports, Cocky Floyd Consulting 05 ride now up and into the 8th position, and he'll look to continue to keep on driving through the field here as the Doug House Chassis, Sexton Paint and Body, 20 ride of Philip Sexton there in 9th. Jason Gunnels in that beautiful 0 ride. The Gunnels Motorsports machine rolls there in the 10th position. Tyler Ryan there in 11th with Tyler Reed there in 12th. Jim Revis, Ryan Howard, Dylan Simmons are top 15 with Wade Burris back here in position number 16. And then it's a dogfight back here outside our top 16. 2, 3, 4 wide back here at times as these drivers are giving it everything they got, whether or not it's for the 15th position or it's for the 5th position. It doesn't really matter for them. They're all trying to get the best finish they can, trying to have the best run that they can here this evening, as you do see Caleb Branham trying to work his way here through the middle, and right now he's kind of getting swallowed by a pair of TNT Racing rides, and right behind him is a DWR machine. That is the 20 ride of Chad Puterbo. Puterbo looking to take that iRacing iFlag DWR JRE Dirt Panda number 20 machine up inside the top 20, but gets pinched up into the wall there a little bit. Luckily enough able to catch it and keep it rolling here is Jeremy Vaughn working right there to his back bumper. Some great racing action all around the speedway as we are 30 laps in, 35 laps left to go here from Talladega. From Eldora Speedway here this evening as Seth Castle continues to hold down the fort. Castle out in front, showing these drivers that he is going to be the car to beat. They are going to have to try to figure out a way to get around him. Now, it may just be waiting for the time to strike here for the 2020 ride. May just be kind of holding stuff back, maybe waiting for a late race caution flag, or maybe the caution flag that just got thrown. Will this be the turn of the tides here for the 7th ride? Will this caution flag come back to hurt him, or will he be able to keep himself out of trouble as Jeremy Akins, looks like Akins and Cameron Stefanski going to run into problems here. Let's take a look as Cameron up on the high side, Jeremy down low. Looks like, Cody Ernest maybe up into the wall and then sends the 2 ride kind of down low into the 7. Okay, we'll have to break this one down. Obviously a whole lot going on there. So it looks like it starts with Cody Ernest here. See if we can get a look here at the 88 machine as Cody trying to work his way through this. I'm not sure if he gets a shot in the back bumper here or if he gets into the wall or what causes this 88 ride to go around. Let's take a look here as the 2 ride, Cameron Stefanski right there behind him. Not a whole lot that Cameron can really do except for kind of wait patiently, and it looks like the 88 just gets in there and ends up going around here. And unfortunately for a couple of these drivers like Cameron Stefanski, nowhere to go. Bounces off him, comes down the racetrack into that number 7 ride, and unfortunately goes around. Then you see Brian Wells, Cody Ernest kind of get together here. Then he bounces back up the track right into the lap of Evan Stefanski, and it shoves Stefanski up and into the outside fence right there as well. So some pretty solid damage for Evan there this evening as well. Tough break for him as couple caution flags now, a few tore up race cars, and we'll see if we can get everything else rolling here as Colby Ely says, it's good to see you still getting it. Yes, Sirski, you know it, Colby, you know it, brother. Listen, the grind never stops. We're up here dang near every single night of the week. Obviously, a little time off right now with the holiday and everything else this week, so obviously a little bit of time off, which is always nice to have. But yeah, brother, we're up here grinding virtually every single night of the week as here we go back to battle here in this one as Rodney Stewart over there on YouTube says checking in on a rested Peacemaker. Oh, brother, we are rested. We are always good. You know, sometimes we're a little yawny, but sometimes it's the racing. Sometimes it's just being tired. Maybe sometimes just staring at a monitor for too long. You know, it's a little bit of everything there. But Vicky Schuller says, exciting. It is very exciting, Vicky. Good to see Mama Schuller up in the chat as well, showing the love here this evening. As Evan Modigan, what's good, Evan? Evan coming in, dropping that thumbs up here on the broadcast as you take a look out in front. We talked about Seth Castle and potentially that caution flag being a thorn into his rear end, and that's exactly what happens as he is now falling back into the third position as Logan Bright down low takes the race lead away. The 2020 rider Jeremy Sexton now trying to stay in position number 2 as Jeremy working that inside lane as he kind of see the inside lane starting to gain a little extra traction. More and more drivers start to work their way down low as we do see the caution flag come back out. So the caution flag is back out into the air here now. I'm not sure what this yellow flag was for. See if we can take a look a little deeper through the field, maybe see some action back here. I'm not sure who may have gotten tied up, who may have went around. Doesn't look like really anything egregious here. Gunnels, all these guys are already down and off the racetrack, so I'm not sure if this was an admin caution. Definitely looks like potentially an admin caution here this evening from one of our admins here today. Let's see if we can take a look back and see if we can find something here. There's nothing on our screen for an issue, but let's take a look at potentially Jeremy Akins. Is there something that goes wrong here? Oh yeah, there we go. So some contact. Looks like Akins already with some heavy front end damage here. Reed all of a sudden slides in there, gets into him. Let's take another look back here and let's break this down, see if we can go a little farther here. There we go. Okay, so the no caution flag on the racetrack, but there was a absolute pile up here. How in the world did we not catch this? There was an absolute goon show going on back here a little deeper in the field as it looks like some contact here. Right there is the 58 machine, unfortunately going to get into it with the 0 ride of Jason Gunnels. Gunnels all of a sudden gets turned sideways on the racetrack. Really not a whole lot that he could do, and then everyone else kind of just piles into this. This is just inside our top 10 here, and all of a sudden you see Dylan Simmons, Wade Burris, all these drivers slam into there. The 2 ride up on 2 wheels. The number 0 goes upside down, and man, that is a tough break. A lot of drivers getting tore up right there, man. Let's take a look back and see if we can get a perspective here from Chad Puterbo. As Puterbo is kind of right in the middle of this one. He sends it into corner number 3, expecting things to go smoothly, and all of a sudden, there's a bunch of parked race cars right in front of him, and man, a couple big hits. Gets turned around, a quick 360, sees then 0 right upside down in a bunch of tore up race cars. As here we go, back to green flag racing. Logan Bright down low, the 2020 Jeremy Sexton up high. As we are back to battle, drivers looking to try to put themselves up and into victory lane, as this has definitely became a very good racetrack here. High side still looks pretty fast with that inside lane. If you can hit it perfectly, it looks like that is going to be the place to be. Is the 82 of Logan Bright use it to take the race lead, but now you do see the 2020 ride of Jeremy Sexton use that outside lane, a little bit more of that slide job lane, and he's worked himself right to the outside, door to door, down across the line. We'll give that lap to Jeremy Sexton as our race leader. Bright, though, continues to work down to his inside as here comes Marcos Pace, Jacob Stefanski right there as well. We saw Jacob Stefanski qualify in that 4th position. He fell back, is now a slide job out of the 82. Bright goes up and over the nose of that 2020 Sexton. Now gonna bang him back here in corner 1 and 2. And as these two start battling like this, it may pull even more drivers into this hunt at the front. As the 82 again gonna slide up in front of the 2020 ride. This time Jeremy gets up, gets a piece of that outside fence. Unfortunately will not have that speed or momentum, but he makes some contact. Around goes the 82 of Bright. Bright's around, everyone else piling in here. Look out, there goes Dylan Simmons and a bunch of other drivers all gonna get tied up here in this one, man. There is a bunch of cats all of a sudden getting tore up here again in corner 1 and 2, and it all starts here at the front of the field as Bright and Sexton, or not Sexton, that's Sexton. It's Jeremy Sexton who's going to get a piece of him right here. Let's take a look at it and break this one down, as obviously has a big run. He was trying to size him up for that slide job. Unfortunately, Bright came up, timed it perfectly there, was able to keep himself in front of the 2020 ride out of corner number 4. Now Jeremy still has this big kind of steam. He's hoping to try to use it to his advantage down at corner 1 and 2. Now he's hoping to see this 82 kind of stay to that middle to outside lane, and I don't think he was expecting to see the 82 kind of get onto the binders early, turn it down the racetrack and use the inside groove, and I think that's just got the 2020 onto the throttle a little too far, a little too long, not anticipating the inside lane move for the 82, and they make contact. Around he goes, and all of a sudden, our early race leader, the driver that led the first 30 or plus so laps of this race, Seth Castle gets right into it. Now here comes the 33 Simmons, Stephen Baru, the 86 of Brian Wells, all getting tied up there, all getting slammed into that one, and heavy damage for a lot of them. And here comes the 22. Evan Stefanski just can't keep himself out of it, and they're still piling in here even afterwards. You see the 98 of Wade Burris, he gets in there deep. Chad Puderbo up and into the outside fence with some damage as well. And man, a bunch of tore up race cars again here from Eldora Speedways. We'll get them all stacked up, racked up, and ready to try this all over again. It does look like Jeremy Sexton still out in front, though. I figure we would have saw Jeremy potentially take the EOL right there for potentially causing that caution flag. Now, he may feel differently about it. He may feel that he did not cause that. Now, the officials will have an opportunity to take a look at it and see who was at fault there with that yellow flag, and they'll make their decisions and deliberate over it over the next couple days. Look out, a big slide job right there from Jacob Stefanski. Oh, baby, it's on like Donkey Kong here this evening, as Jordan Gage has now found his way back up to the front of the field as well. Jeremy Sexton able to hold off the charge, but now there's contact back behind him. Look out, there goes Seth Castle up and into the 91 ride. They're wrecking down across the start-finish line again. Pankow, Seth Castle, there goes the 22 around back into the wall as well. And man, oh man, oh man, things have gotten a little bit crazy here, ladies and gentlemen. Things have gotten a little bit wild over the last handful of laps. My gosh, it has become a lot of carnage out there on the racetrack, and it looks like potentially the 47. Let's take a look here. I do believe it was Jacob Stefanski in the 23. Now, Stefanski's up on the high side, just made that big slide job move. He's lost a little bit of speed, a little bit of momentum. Now he slides up the racetrack here in corner number 3 and 4. It looks like he tags the wall there a little bit, bounces off of it, maybe just a little bit loss of momentum right there for the 23 ride. And I don't think Marco's pace was going to expect that. Unfortunately, could not get onto the binders quick enough, ends up into his left rear quarter panel right there, and that just knocks him loose. He's trying to get checked up. He's got the 720 Awaley on his back bumper, and it kind of just pushes him back into the 23. And as Stefanski comes down low, hooks the 7 ride of Seth Castle and sends Castle right up the racetrack and right into that Dirt Track Junkies 91 ride of Tyson Pankow. Pankow nowhere to go. Ryan Howard, Tim Taylor, the 911 ride. A lot of these drivers getting tied up, getting tore up there because of it. Cameron Stefanski, Brian Wells, the 357 getting a bunch of damage out of that as well, man. There's a whole bunch of cars still getting tore up here. Look at Cody Ernest slam into the passenger side door of the 91 ride as mayhem here in Eldora in the Dirt Warrior Racing League's Wednesday night street fights. And man, oh man, oh man, it is some absolute street fighting going on here this evening as Jason Cannell says, not fun, he says. I don't blame you on that one. It's Tony, Mr. Whippersnapper. How are you, Tony? Whippersnapper coming in with the heart reaction says, what's going on, my guy? Hope you've been doing good. Always doing good, Whippersnapper. Always doing good, brother. Hopefully you're doing good as well. As Johnny Rowley says, are we at Daytona? Are we there? It might be Daytona. I'm not 100% sure. It's starting to look a lot like it, man. We are seeing some absolute big ones here this evening. And, oh, man, for some of these drivers, it's absolutely chaotic out there, Chad. It's chaotic. It's chaos. It is absolute cinema. That is for certain, as these guys are putting on a great movie for us here this evening as Jeremy Sexton able to hang on and hold down the fort here of another perfect restart there at the 2020 ride, but he does have his Cocky Floyd Consulting teammate right there behind him as Jordan Gage in that 05 ride from the penthouse to the doghouse, having to take the EOL. At the beginning of this race, he was supposed to start on the pole, had to take the EOL, went to the back of the pack, then went from the doghouse, now almost into the penthouse as he rolls there in position number 2 and looking to work to the back bumper of the doghouse chassis. 2020 rider Jeremy Sexton. As here comes Gage with the slide job down through corner 3 and 4. A great crossover of the 2020, but he can't quite get back to the inside there. He'll send it in deep down low through corner 1 and 2. Could cannot pull that slide job off as the 0-5 of Jordan Gage out in front as he will complete the back to the front challenge here this evening for winning a race last week and had to take that EOL. Now here he is just battling at the front of the pack, man. What a performance so far for that 0-5 ride. We'll have to wait and see if Jeremy Sexton or Jackie Whaley now has something up their sleeve to try to maybe steal this win away from Gage and Jeremy here this evening. As you see Philip Sexton back there as well. Great run for Philip as he rolls there in position number 4. Look at the grumpy old man, the grumpy graphics, Dirt Panda iRacing iFlag DWR machine himself. It's Jim Rivas. Jim up and inside the top 5. Will it finally be his night to break through and pick up another checker flag in his historic iRacing career here this evening? As Tyler Ryan, Ryan Howard, Jeremy Vaughn. Good to see Vaughn up there working his way now into the 8th position for the 8 ride. Cameron Stefanski there in 9th. Tim the Toolman Taylor, he thought he was going to come home in 18th here this evening. Right now he rolls in position number 10. Will Timmy hold on to a top 10 here this evening, or will he fall backwards out there on the racetrack as he's got Jeremy Akins, Caleb Branham, and now the 82 of Logan Bright right there as well. Bright is he is looking wild out there on the racetrack. He's racing like a bat from hell here this evening, trying to work his way back to the front of the pack. He's trying to figure out a way to get around this 7 right of Jeremy Akins. Now going to go down through the middle here and take him 3 wide as he looks to try to slide around that 7 machine. Unfortunately, very tough to try to make passes deeper in the field here as we see one driver a little slow there down and out of corner number 2. That was Dylan Simmons as they are still 2-3 wide, even a little 4 wide back here as Chad Puterbo works to the outside lane. Puterbo getting himself around a couple drivers. That's Brian Wells down low, and then the 45 of Stephen Baru, the 47 of Marco's Pace right there into that battle as, oh man, Chad trying to keep himself out of trouble right there, trying to keep that car pointed the right direction. Jacob Stefanski there in 19th. Seth Castle, our early race leader, led the first half of this race. He's back in the 20th position with Tyson Pankow. Cody Ernest back there in 22nd. Derek Rice in the 22 of Evan Stefanski side by side. This is for the 23rd and 24th position. Stephen Peru, unfortunately though, he's up here in this battle. He is a lap down out there on the racetrack. Tough place to be for Stephen as Tyler J. Reed, Jason Ganells, and a bunch of these other drivers already done here this evening as Chris Hill, Anthony Thompson also off the racetrack here today. As Jordan Gage out in front, continuing to lead this one. Gage just doing what he does best, and that's finding a way to get to the front of the field and put himself into positions to pick up checkered flags here in these Dirt Street Stocks. He's won some of the biggest races in history here in iRacing in these Dirt Street Stocks, and here he is again looking for another checkered flag in the Dirt Warrior Racing League's Wednesday night street fights. The Get Up Bumper Motorsports Gage Farm 05 ride out in front by about 7/10 of a second. As back there behind him, another one of those Conkey Floyd Consulting Sexton Paint and Body Rides is the 2020 of Jeremy Sexton. They're in second. Jackie Whaley in the DWR iRacing iFlag JRE machine. They're in third with Philip Sexton right on his back bumper. Philip would love to jump up inside the top 3 and try to have it as a Conkey Floyd Consulting 1-2-3 here this evening. As Jim Rivas, he's up inside the top 5, having himself a heck of a day at the Speedways. Tyler Ryan, Jeremy Vaughn now into 7th. Is Ryan Howard there in 8th. Cameron Stefanski and now Marco's Pace trying to jump up into 10th here as he looks to work himself around the 7 ride of Jeremy Akins. Tim the Toolman Taylor trying to hang on to a top 10 here. Unfortunately, the TNT Racing Memphis Grizzlies ride down low. Looks like he will lose that 10th position, fall back to the 12th, maybe even the 13th spot, and he may fall back even farther. As Jordan Gage, nice and easy, down through corner number 3 and out of corner number 4. Down across the line, he will complete lap number 60, and we have the big high five from our flagman. Only 5 more laps left to go here this evening. 5 more laps for Jordan Gage to try to put himself back up into victory lane here at Eldora Speedway. Has about a second now between himself and Jeremy Sexton. Last thing he wants to see is a caution flag. He wants to see this go clean and green down to the end as you take a look. Philip Sexton still working to the back bumper here of Jackie Whaley. Whaley trying to hold on to that third spot. Can he hold off that 20 ride of Philip Sexton here before the end of this race? And Jim Revis just sitting comfortably here in that fifth position. A few car lengths in front of him is that battle for fourth, and then a few car lengths back behind him. You see the 47 ride trying to hold off Jeremy Vaughn as Vaughn looking to try to jump up another spot, trying to earn himself a top 6 performance here this evening. We'll have to wait and see if he can find his way around that 47 machine as Jordan Gage down across the line. Only 2 more laps left to go. For the Dirty South Speed Shop, Gage Farms, Cocky Floyd Consulting, Get a Bumper Motorsports, 05 rider Jordan Gage, nice and easy, down through corner number 3 and out of corner number 4 here at Eldora Speedway. We will see that white flag fly. The final lap around the racetrack for Jordan Gage. He's got a sizable lead between himself and Jeremy Sexton. As for the final time here this evening, he'll head down the back straightaway into corner number 3 and out of corner number 4. Jordan Gage will get it done here at Eldora in the Dirt Warrior Racing League's Wednesday night street fights. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up here for Jordan Gage as he is able to capture the victory here this evening and park himself up and into the Eldora Speedway victory lane. What a run and what a drive here for that 05 ride. Was supposed to start on the pole, had to take an EOL and went to the rear of the field, had to navigate his way through carnage, mayhem, and a lot of traffic as almost 30 drivers started this race. He went from first back to 30th, navigated his way through that carnage, through the mayhem, and through all these drivers to find his way back out in front and to be able to get it done and pick up the win here this evening, man. What a run and what a performance here from Jordan Gage as he is able to capture tonight's victory by just over a second between himself and Jeremy Sexton, Jackie Whaley, Philip Sexton, and Jim Revis rounding out our top 5 as we'll get ready to pull our top 3 performers up here into the broadcast booth. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up for Jordan Gage, man. What a run, what a drive, what a performance for that 05 machine, man. That was a fun race. A little carnage, a little mayhem there in the middle, kind of sprinkled into it, man. And that really kind of sized things up, made things very, very exciting there for that middle portion with all the yellows, all the back and forth, and then leading this race clean and green the way we like to see it, and watching these guys duke it out, have it into their own hands, their own driver ability, and able to see who can just win this race here this evening and not be attested by a late race caution flag is always fun to watch. As we'll get ready to pull Gage and the rest of our top 3 up and into the broadcast booth here for their post-race interviews. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up here for our race winner, Jordan Gage. As Gage picks up the dub, let's get him up here into the booth. Hey, Jordan, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. Did you get a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Jordan, man, what a run, what a drive here this evening for you, man, as you had to give up that pole position, take an EOL, go to the back of the pack, and then all of a sudden you had, 25, 30 drivers in front of you. You had to work yourself through a ton of traffic, a bunch of carnage there midway through this race. Somehow you're able to survive all of it and navigate your way late in this one to jump up and take that race lead away from Jeremy Sexton and park yourself back up and in to the WRL victory lane here this evening. Brother, take us through this race and what's going through your mind right now as you're able to basically come from the doghouse to the penthouse here this evening.
Yeah, I felt pretty confident. We did the same thing on Monday, went to the back here and won. So I just knew I had to pretty much do what I did the first time and just try to duplicate it. And, there's a few wrecks and whatnot, so that helps getting around some of the guys that are pretty fast, so you don't got to race them for a little bit. But yeah, we got there in like 45 laps or something like that and just kind of set sail. And I don't know. It was a good race. Monday we had like 35 cautions, and this one we had a handful, I would say. So it's way easier to race around the wall when it's like that, so you can just get in your groove and go. But yeah, this Cocky Floyd 05 car was on dig all night.
Yeah, it was definitely on dig as we saw you digging around the racetrack, trying to find your way through some of that traffic, man. Take us through, some of those battles. Obviously, we see a lot of, 3, 4, 5 wide action out there, man. Sometimes that's very hard to navigate your way through. It's sometimes you can kind of just get blocked and locked in behind some of those bigger packs battling out there. But you were able to pick your way through that and keep yourself out of the carnage as well, man. As that was a hell of a drive.
Yeah, we just had to nut bottom there for a little bit for like 30 laps and just kind of see where we lined out once it kind of went away down there. And, we lined out pretty perfect. We got around a few guys, and then I think on like lap 2 and lap 35, I decided I wanted to try to tear the infield wall down a couple times. So I kind of thought the car might have been hurt a little bit, but I mean, I don't know. It still felt pretty good.
Well, nothing was going to slow you down today then, because you were on rails all evening long, and you park yourself back up into the Eldora Speedway victory lane. Jordan, who would you like to thank for such a great run and strong performance here this evening, capturing tonight's victory?
I got to thank Cocky Floyd and all the guys over there in Discord, Get a Bumper Motorsports, Dirty South Speed Shop, Gage Farms, Rachel's Motorsports, Gravedigger Motorsports. Yeah, that's about it.
Beauty. Well, Jordan, hell of a run, hell of a drive here this evening, and hopefully we'll see you back in action next Wednesday for the new series here with the Dirt Warrior Racing League. As a little bit of the same thing, but a little different at the same time, and should be another fun league and some more amazing racing here Wednesday nights, and maybe more checkered flanks for yourself in the future.
Yeah, I hope so, but I appreciate it.
Absolutely, brother. Jordan, congratulations on the win once again. Don't party too hard down there in victory lane, and we can't wait to see you back out there on the racetrack in the next one.
Thanks. JC's already got the Smirnoff Red, White, and Berries cracked open, so we'll have a fun time.
Perfect. Have yourself a wonderful night.
See ya.
Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, there you go. Give it up for Jordan Gage as Gage comes home there in the top spot, picking up tonight's checkered flag as we'll get ready now to pull in our second place finisher, our second place performer here this evening, Jeremy Sexton. Let's pull Jeremy up here into the booth as Jeremy comes home in position number 2 as man, that was a hell of a run, hell of a drive here. These drivers put on a absolutely amazing performance here for us. I don't know why we ended up tapping out of that. That was an interesting one. All right, let's pull on Jeremy up here into the booth right now. Hey, Jeremy, it's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. Did you get a copy?
Yes, sir.
Jeremy, man, hell of a run, hell of a drive here this evening. A lot of tight fighting there at the front of the field all night long. And slowly but surely we see you and the number 82 right there, Logan Bright, able to work yourself around that 7 machine of Seth Castle there midway through this race. And then you and Bright duke out there for a little while. Some contact there between the two of you sent him to the back of the pack. And that had you out in front leading this race. And you trying to keep a hold of it here for as long as you could until Jordan Gage came up out of nowhere from the back of the pack and was able to steal this win away from you, man. Take us through this race and what's going through your mind right now as you get to park it up here on the podium.
Really, I hadn't went to watch the replay yet. I really don't know. It happened so fast with me and Logan. If that's my fault, I feel absolutely terrible. I don't want to ruin anybody's race or cause any problems. I'm gonna apologize ahead of time just in case. We were throwing sliders on each other for the lead, obviously, and it appeared he was going to run the slider line up to the wall in 1 and 2. So I was going to go under him and try to slide in front of him. About that time, he comes down. So I make a last minute decision to go high to keep the momentum, and our bumpers touched. I know he was already heading to the bottom. I was going to claim it right away, and Marcos told me, he said, I just don't think that was totally your fault. And so I didn't claim it. I may have made a bad mistake with that, and I own it if I did.
Yeah, absolutely a tough situation right there, and that's pretty much how it looked on the replay and everything else. Is it looked like he was kind of making that late decision to run to the inside, maybe trying to lock that slider out of you, and you had to dive to the outside there to try to avoid him. Unfortunately, you had such speed and momentum, and him trying to get checked up there early to make that corner down low just kind of ran out of room. Just tough, hard racing there at the front of the field for the race lead and for potentially the race win here this evening. And then obviously contact being made, track slick. It doesn't take much to loop these things around. Unfortunate break there for Logan either way, and unfortunate break for you as well. Obviously having to deal with that situation altogether and having that across your mind throughout the rest of this race, and then obviously not even being able to get the dub, having that 0-5 right at Jordan Gage come up and steal it away from you there in the closing 10-15 laps of this race. What was kind of going through your mind as you saw that 0-5 ride slowly but surely navigate his way through that traffic, and then all of a sudden right there to your inside stealing this race win?
Yeah, I knew once he was in that position that he had been running the bottom most of the race. He would have better tires most likely, and the dude's good. I can't take anything away from him as far as that goes. I'm very happy to run second. Like I said last week, I've ran second to him probably more times than I've won a race. So, but every time I get a little better, and that's all I can ask for is to steadily improve and learn from these guys.
Yeah, absolutely. No better learner to, someone to watch it and kind of mirror and learn their driving styles and their tendencies and everything else than Jordan Gage. We talked about it throughout this race after he took that race lead, is that, man, he's won some of the biggest races here in iRacing, especially when it comes to these dirt street stocks, man. When we look at, the Gobbler and some of these other great big events that we put on, and, man, he's been right there picking up a lot of these checkered flags. So no better person to kind of trying to mirror and follow along with and learn from than Jordan Gage, and obviously JC himself as well. JC's been around forever. He's won a lot of good things as well. So you guys are in a good stable, man, with some great talented drivers. So it's good to see you and all the Sextons and so many of your other friends, taking these steps and getting better and faster. And we can see that week after week after week that you guys are getting better and better and better every time you're out there on the racetrack.
Yes, sir. We do our best to put in the laps and try to get as good as we can. And I know when I first got on, as well as Jacob and Philip, Jordan wasn't around, and I'd never heard of him. He just popped up one day, and anyhow, found out he was, JC's good friend, and we kind of clicked right away. And Jordan has helped me a ton. Him and JC both. And Jordan's never asked for anything in return, not nothing. He just did it just because he's a nice guy. So like I say, I listen and pay attention when these guys, talk to us and try to help us, and just glad to be part of a good group of guys that are fast and, all strive to be better than they were the last day.
Absolutely, brother. Well, Jeremy, hell of a run, hell of a drive for you here tonight at Eldora. You were able to come home in position number 2 again. Another great finish there in behind Jordan here this evening, man. But for yourself, another strong performance, another great run. Who else would you like to thank for such a great performance out there on the racetrack?
Yeah, one other thing is everybody was having to be extremely cautious. Jim added the incident point limit, and somehow it got messed up. So if you got a 2X, you would get a black flag. So we were having to be extremely cautious to not get into the wall and get penalties and all that stuff. So that also made it even more nerve-wracking the race. But I'd like to thank God first and foremost. Thank everybody in the kennel Discord, my brother, my son, Marcos, Seth, Steven Stokes, Brian Wells, Derek Rice, probably missing somebody, Seth Castle, Cocky Floyd guys that help us, Jordan, JC, Ethan, Caden Reynolds. I feel like those guys are some of the best on this deal. And like I say, we're happy to be a part of them and that they've accepted us and become friends now. You for the broadcast, Jim and his guys for the league, of course, and everybody that pitches in and helps donate money to keep this deal going with DWRL and those guys. And like I said earlier, I fully expect Jim to check this replay. If that's on me, I expect nothing less than the full penalty that I deserve. That's one reason this lobby fills up every week is those guys are straight across the board. It doesn't matter if you're a teammate, partial owner with the team, friends, family. Jim's a straight shooter. I think he'd DQ his own mama. So I have a lot of respect for him because of that, as well as Jackie.
Yeah, absolutely. Pure class acts, always doing what's right and not having that biased input or trying to fix things here in a series is always fun and makes it a fair, even playing ground for everyone. Just go out there, have fun, have a good time, and race hard out there respectfully each and every single week. And we saw that for the most part here tonight. A few caution flags, but not too many, and for a lot of it was a lot of fun and built up the excitement even more here for all the fans in the stands. And obviously a great battle there at the end. It's Jeremy Parker here in position number 2. Brother, congrats on another great run, and we can't wait to see you back out there on the racetrack next Wednesday.
Thank you, sir, and hope my old buddy keeps pounding on his keyboard over there. Have a good night.
Yes, you as well. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, give it up there for our second place finisher. It's Jeremy Sexton. Sexton comes home in position number 2 as our boy JC Floyd in the chat. What's good, JC? JC says, good job, boys. Good job, boys, indeed, there to the Cocky Floyd Consulting crew as they were able to come home with a 1-2 there with Jordan Gage and Jeremy Sexton in first and second. We had Philip Sexton right there in position number 4 with a couple of the DWRs right there in the middle of it, and coming home in that third position, the DWR iRacing iFlag JRE machinist Jackie Whaley. Our third place finisher here this evening is Jason Gunnels says, congratulations, y'all. Congrats all. Yes, that was a heck of a run, heck of a drive there by everybody, man. It was a great show for all the fans in the stands, and that's exactly what we like to see. As Robbie Eversole coming in with that heart reaction. Timo Blundell, hopefully I'm saying that right. Timo coming in, showing the love there with that like on the stream. And Amy Marie Stefanski coming in with that heart reaction as well. How are you, Amy? Amy coming in, showing the love here in this one as we'll get ready now to pull in our third place finisher. It's Jackie Whaley. Jackie coming home here in position number 3 here this evening. Hey, Jackie, It's Aaron up here in the Peacemaker Broadcasting booth. To get a copy?
Yes, sir.
Jackie, brother, heck of a run, heck of a drive, man. Take us back through this one. There's obviously a lot of tight racing out there on the Speedway, especially where you were, man, early on, kind of right in the middle of this pack. And we saw a lot of 3, 4, 5 wide action out there on the Speedway. Take us back through this race. What's kind of going through your mind here as you're able to navigate your way through some of the carnage, some of the mayhem, and then obviously through some very tough competition to park yourself up here on the podium?
Oh man, early on, I just felt like I needed to be patient, and I felt pretty good coming into the night, so I felt like I'd pay off for me in the end, and I did. I just tried to mind my P's and Q's and stay out of the carnage because we did have a few in front of us, and just try to be smooth, man, tonight. And like I said, I felt really good tonight with the car. Felt like I had it under me for once. I felt like I had a chance late to get those 2, but I messed up. That's the way it goes, though.
That's definitely the way it goes. That one simple mistake, the one bad corner, all of a sudden it just kind of kills that speed and momentum that you needed to try to take a swing at maybe stealing that second spot or maybe even putting yourself up into the victory lane. But here tonight, man, you're able to hang on for a very solid third place run. We saw Philip Sexton there putting the bumper right to you, trying to figure out a way to get around you and try to make it a Cocky Floyd Consulting 1, 2, and 3. But you and Jim able to kind of jump up there inside the top 5 and give these guys a run for their money here this evening.
Oh yeah, I wasn't. Phil and Jeremy and all them guys, they raced me pretty clean, and I seen him coming there, and I thought, oh boy, here we go. But I knew Phil wouldn't race me dirty, and he didn't. And just luckily, I had enough to hold him off at the end. But tonight was some pretty decent racing, I felt like.
Yeah, some very good racing. Obviously, we went about the first 30-something laps, almost the first half
Oh yeah.
of this race, caution-free. Then, obviously, cautions, precautions. We had that 3 or 4 yellows there throughout the middle portion. Then a good green flag run to finish this race off. And honestly, that's kind of what you want throughout a 65-lap race. You don't want it to go, all the time caution-free and not having a single yellow. It's fun to get a couple yellows in there to spice things up, build that intensity up, and make it a little bit more exciting for all the fans in the stands. So it was kind of a perfect night here. I'm sure there's a few drivers that are probably having a shake of their head right now and probably not the same feeling. But for me up in the booth, and I'm sure for some of these other guys, obviously those caution flags helping them out and giving them some good finishes.
Oh, for sure, for sure. I mean, but tonight, like I said, tonight I just felt like it was my night. And man, I wish I wouldn't have messed up because, like you said, you're racing against some of the top guys on iRacing, man, in this league, and then one little stupid mistake will kill you. I mean, it will kill you. And but yeah, I felt fast tonight and just kept my nose clean and got another third place, third or second. That's all I can seem to get nowadays is third or second. But there's there's a lot of fast guys. I mean, you got Jamie Massey, Jordan Gage, Marcos Pace, the Sextons, the Stefanskis. I mean, there's just it wasn't like this back in the day whenever I first got on.
Yeah, definitely not that, liquidated with so many great talented drivers, and we look back through even the years and how many that were missing to make this even more exciting. When you look back at the House of Speed or the TNL or any of these other guys, man, there's so many other fast guys that could be here, that could be showing up and showing out every single night. But for you
talk about
tonight,
a show.
Yeah,
you talk about a show. If we had all the old timers in here. If we could ever get old Ratley to come, we can't hardly ever get him to come race anymore. But Stifler and all them guys, man, Rocky, T-Jack, man, it'd be a show. I'm telling you, it'd be something to watch.
Yeah, oh yeah. Looking back on some of those old videos, fan of the dirt street stock racing from let's go 3-4 years ago, and you get all those intense battles between obviously the DWR crew, and then you throw in Team No Love and House of Speed. My gosh, back in the day, it was very, very toxic, but man, it was a lot of fun. As Johnny Ratley says, I don't have no stuff no more. He says he sold it. Oh no! What?
Oh no, Johnny! What in the world?
What in the world, Johnny? No, brother, he can't sell it. He's gonna have to buy new stuff now. Johnny, gonna come out of retirement?
We're going to GoFundMe page or something. Get some new stuff.
Exactly. Well, Jackie, a solid run though for you nonetheless here this evening, man. A solid top 3 performance, keeping a lot of these fast cats back behind you, brother. Who would you like to thank for a great run here this evening from Eldora Speedway?
iRacing iFlags. 304 Roots, Evil One Graphics, and then all my teammates back at DWR. Great group of guys to be around, man. Really good guys. And I guess we'll see y'all next week when we start our new series. I think it's called Circle Track Showdown. Hopefully, we're going to be at Knoxville Monday on our practice race, and then Wednesday will be the broadcast show by Peace, the best man in the business, knowing this right now. So hopefully we'll get a good high car count there Wednesday and do this again and have another great show.
Absolutely, brother. We're looking forward to it and looking forward to seeing all these guys out there on the racetrack and duking it out here and going elbows up again for another amazing series of racing action.
All right, dude. Thank you, Peace.
Absolutely. Enjoy the rest of your night, Jackie, and congrats again on the 3rd place run.
All right. Thanks, sir.
Tell him I will come in admin for $100 a race. Johnny, are you crazy? $100 a race? Brother, I don't even get paid $100 a race for being up here in the booth. Come on now. $100 a race. I need a pay raise if that's the case. My gosh, brother. Holy smokes. Listen, they can just add I'll do it for $80 and they can add it to my bill and I'll be the admin. I don't even care if that's the case. My gosh. That's wild. wild, my boy. That's wild. Johnny always coming in, showing the love here in this one, man. Chat, we can't thank you guys enough for tuning in. Everyone coming in with the likes, the comments, the shares. We appreciate each and every single one of you. We appreciate all these drivers for showing up and showing out here this evening, man. Some absolutely amazing racing action, and we can't thank these guys enough, and all these drivers who show up and put on a show for us lap after lap after lap, man. Always some great battles out there, a lot of great fun to be had. And if you guys want to join in on the next series, let us know here in the comments section. Jump into the messenger, shoot me a message. We can get you hooked up with the Discord, or check out the DWRL, the Dirt Warrior Racing League, over on Facebook. Jim or one of the boys over there will get you hooked up with the Discord information. They will get you pointed in the right direction and give you the information there, not only on their Facebook page but also in Discord on where to be and how to get in on the action. Become part of the show yourself next Wednesday for the new series here at the Wednesday Night Street Fights, as it'll be changed now from Wednesday Night Street Fights into the I do believe it'll be changed to the Circle Track Showdown. That's going to be one that we'll have to try to remember. I'm sure we'll mix that up a few times, as we've been doing Wednesday Night Street Fights for so long. So the Circle Track Showdown will probably end up messing us up a few times next Wednesday, maybe even for a couple Wednesdays, but nonetheless, we'll have a lot of fun, and we can't wait to see all these drivers and all the fans in the stands back in here next week. As Jeremy, what's good? Jeremy says, yo, I keep every side of the car clean. We just gotta get better at qualifying. Laugh out loud. Jeremy, brother, yeah, that was a deep drive from way back there, brother. Not even inside the top 20. Barely, I don't even think inside the top 30. You were up 33 positions. You qualified back in 40th. Got that provisional and used it to a blessing, as you were able to work yourself up 33 spots and slide into the 7th place here this evening, man. Absolutely insane. You and Jeremy Aikens both up 33 positions here this evening, man. That is absolutely insane. That's absolutely wild, man. And huge congrats on a solid run there for the 8 ride. We were watching. You thought maybe late in that race you were going to be able to get the run and steal 6 away from Tyler Ryan, but just could not get around that 47 machine. But man, hell of a performance. And listen, we can't thank you guys enough, though. Always coming in showing the love. As Jeremy says, I always say, I just gotta make the race and we can go forward. Yeah, that's all you gotta do, man. That's the mentality to have, and always being optimistic about what could happen, and always, having those positive thoughts can always turn into very positive results. And definitely one of those positive results here this evening. Hell of a drive, my boy. Is ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we can't thank you guys enough for tuning in, though. Everyone coming in with the likes, the comments, the shares, we appreciate each and every single one of you, and we can't wait to see you guys back in here. We're actually off tomorrow night. I'll probably end up going golfing, so maybe we'll make some golf content tomorrow. We'll have to wait and see if we can get some cameras and webcams hooked up for that, and maybe get one of our buddies to come out and be a videographer for us. But maybe some golf content coming in the future here for our YouTube and Facebook channels, and some more offline content as well here in the future for Peacemaker Gaming, which would be a lot of fun. But listen, can't thank you guys enough for tuning in. Can't thank you guys enough for showing the love here this evening, and we will see you guys back in here in the next one. Peace and love, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy the rest of your Wednesday night.
Roaring engines rip the night, burning bright, yeah, no stop. Wheels screaming, spit that fire, dirt and gravel, they pop. Oh, slick under the street lights, the shadows start to dance. Adrenaline like thunder, man, give me that last chance. Wednesday night, street fights, racing for the win. Broken steel and busted dreams, we wear it on our skin. Smell the fumes, taste the danger, hold tight to the wheel. This ain't no love song, baby, this is that's all they need. Tracks alive like a monster, the dirt flies and bends. Ruthless turns, hard turns, savage till the night ends. Wednesday night, street fights, racing for the win. Broken steel and busted dreams, we wear it on our skin. Smell the fumes, taste the danger, hold tight to the wheel. This ain't no love song, baby, this is raw real. Underneath the moonlight, crowds roar so loud. Pride's in the throttle, not in faces of a crowd. A brotherhood of metal, sweat, gears that grind. Cross that line or get left behind. Cold air cuts the dawn, still our fires rage. Holding bruises like trophies, exhaling battle cage. The stands are empty now, but the ghosts they